Well, it's Tuesday, and you all know what that means. If you probably guessed right about now, for today, we're in fact going to do only one review. Reason is this is because I had a very long day. But, nonetheless, NXT will always be a priority on this particular channel for me to review for you guys. So, as you probably can guess what's been going on in NXT, a lot has been happening, of course. As you know, we have a brand new NXT Women's Champion. So the real question is, where do we go from here? The TNA World Championship will be defended, and plenty other things as well. So we're going to go from A to Z on this particular episode. But as soon as we're done with that, we'll be moving on with our last thing we're going to do is, of course, news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of wrestling, such as what events the promotions are thrown out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to the Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. In the world press is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-time news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or nice comments in the description down below. Now, all introductions have been said, so let's begin with our only review for today, and that is, of course, NXT. Alright, NXT. As you probably know right about now, we opened up, of course, with Javon Evans and Laredo Kid making their way to the ring. As you know, they are 2 out of the 4 competitors participating in the Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT North American Championship at Worlds Collide. However, Ethan Page, as you know, was not too pleased with the idea that the fact that he was jumped into a decision that he feels that Ava had no right to put him in the Fatal 4-Way. But of course, the problem he also had to face is the fact that if he survives his Fatal 4-Way at Worlds Colliding, well, he has to deal with Sean Legacy from Evolve, which is the last thing he wants to hear. But however, of course, Sean Legacy comes out to give his little speech to him about his face, about the things he can do and all this. However, as you know, Sean Legacy has been a thorn on the side of course, the Vanity Project for y'all. More specifically, Brad Taylor, Ricky Smokes, and Jackson Drake. But of course, it was later shown that we're going to see a match between, of course, teaming up Vanity Project and Ethan Page taking on Laredo, Sean Legacy, and what's his name? And Javon Evans. However, as soon as that whole ordeal was over, Ava had a little chat with Evans, Laredo, and of course Legacy about them dealing with Vanity Project and Ethan Page. However, they say they need a fourth partner. But the real question is, who was it? Well, Evans thought maybe it was better off they don't need one, but somehow they had a surprise volunteer, and that is, of course, Dragon Lee, who volunteered, and I thought it was a pretty good moment. So we'll see what happens from there. Now, our first match, we have Chase U members, Professor Chase, Cale Dixon, and Uriah Faber taking on Dark State. Well, you probably can guess how this was going to go. This was a match that I don't think Andre Chase wanted to be involved, but he did. It was like the most messed up thing he's ever done. But you probably can guess that this match was over when Dark State applied a power bomb onto Dale Dixon and just like Cale Dixon, and just like that, 1, 2, 3 was over. The match was won by Dion Lennox. Now, we did see an interview with Trick Williams. As you probably know, he will be defending the TNA World Heavyweight Championship at the main event. So he had some things to say about Mike Santana, because he's willing to acknowledge that he thinks that, because of course, Mike Santana established himself as the savior of TNA. But he doesn't believe he can do it. Now, if he defeats him, he has to go against Elijah. So, that sort of thing. But he made it perfectly clear that TNA World title is not going out of his possession just yet, because he feels he could shine TNA better than ever. Now, we did see, of course, what's her name? Tyra May Steele chatting with Carly Bright and, of course, Kendall Gray about her parents, until she was really interrupted by Ariana Grace, telling her, oh, no one needs to hear that. Your little gold medals are all fake and all that. However, of course, Tyra actually said, I think I just found my first competitors. Well, I don't know what Ariana Grace was thinking, but she put herself in a very, 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 very bad position. Now, our next match is more of the heritage style of wrestling, or pure wrestling style, however you want to put it up. Miles Bourne versus Charlie Dempsey. Basically, you can call it a no quarter catch crew showdown. But however, there's a very interesting stipulation. As you know, if Miles Bourne beats Charlie Dempsey, he will be walking out of no quarter catch crew. And of course, Dempsey wasn't gonna allow that to happen. So you probably can guess that Dempsey does not refuses. But of course, the bigger question I think the commentators ask is, Miles Bourne really, really becoming that good way? Like, maybe he needs to step out of the whole no quarter catch crew and do on his own. And some Booker and of course Corey Grace say they see a lot of potential in him. I mean, he did toe to toe against Obafemi, but Charlie Dempsey just considers, you lost. No, he didn't just lose. He stood up to the guy who was way more stronger than him, but he did not give up no matter what. But of course, this match was more of a 2 out of 3 falls type. Of course, the first fall goes to Bourne when he applies when he pinned Dempsey, and just like that. And of course, Dempsey wins the second fall. But the third fall, well, that one goes to Bourne when he applied a big drop kick, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, he won. He's probably out of no quarter catch crew to go on his own. Now, in the back, we did see the Cullen, more specifically Nico Vance, Brooks Jensen, and Sean Spears, until out of nowhere, Izzy Dame just whacked Brooks Jensen in the back with the chair. And apparently, she's saying that he saw this one had this one coming, that they're better off without him. So basically, it's still unclear why. Was it because they were unsuccessful, losing to, of course, trios match that they faced against, of course, Hank and Tank and Josh Briggs? I don't know, but we'll see how that goes from there. Now, our next match, we did see Tyra May Steele taking on Ariana Grace. Well, you can guess that this match was going to fall in favor to Steele, because she actually took her out when she applied a German suplex. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it's over. Now, Mike Santana did an interview with Sera about his match in the main event for the TNA World title. So, of course, it's always been what he's been aiming for since he returned to TNA. So, we'll see what happens from there. Now, as you know, Fatal Influence have been very happy with the fact, of course, now that they have the NXT Women's Championship in their possession. However, there is one thing that I think Jacy Jayne forgets to know. Once you win a championship, you have targets coming at you. The first person was Lainey Reed. Many of you may remember from NXT Level Up. We haven't seen her for quite some time. Then Lola Vice, Jordan Grace, Kelani Jordan, Jada Parker. But later we did see all these women beating the crap out of each other. How, except for Lainey Rain, who was on the opposite side of them until the lights turned off. All of a sudden, we saw the glamorous Mariah May. Now, for the record, they never mentioned her name, so it is the possibility for us who know WWE too well that she may get a new name. So that is the strong possibility we get, but they just refers to her as the glamorous one or something like that. So basically, she made her mark saying, "I'll be coming for that belt." So the real question is, should Jacy Jayne become more worried, knowing too well that she has challengers coming left and right? I mean, I would say yes. I mean, the problem is, how long could she last holding that belt? That's the obvious question. So we'll see what will happen. Now, however, while Jacy Jayne has been displaying herself as the new NXT Women's Champion, well, the ladies from Evolve were paying attention what's going on. And of course, they're liking what they're seeing. So Carly Armstrong is suggesting, how about we have someone who beat my first challenger? So basically, they want to prove that they can step up their game. So we'll see how things will roll up the following day. Now, we did see, of course, the match between Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, Shawn Legacy, and Dragon Lee taking on Ethan Page and the Vanity Project. Now, of course, Vanity Project think that they run the entire Evolve brand, but they don't. They're nothing but a pain in the butt. But we did see some great moments with, of course, Evans, Laredo, Legacy, and Lee. But it was, of course, Dragon Lee with Operation Dragon onto Brad Taylor until 1, 2, 3, done. Now, Mr. Stone, along with, of course, Stevie Turner, had a little talk with Obafemi about his match that he wants to have against Jasper Troy. As you all know, Jasper Troy is part of the LFG, attacked him about a couple of weeks ago. However, now it seems it's going to happen. So Obafemi was told by Undertaker that he has men who could take him out. So, of course, Obafemi, not afraid of any challenge, welcomed it. Now, So Ruka, as you know, probably doesn't know what's next now that since, of course, she defeated Kelani Jordan to retain the NXT Women's North American title. However, while her and Zarya were in fact talking, they ran into Tatum Paxley. Paxley, as you know, has been down ever since Shotzi and Gigi left. Well, Izzy Dean tried to say that she doesn't need friends like them because people like them will stab them in the back. We don't know what that means. If Tatum Paxley might join the calling, I don't know. We'll just wait and see. Now, Tony D'Angelo once again got into face-to-face with Luca Crucifino. Well, it seems Luca Crucifino decided to book a tag match against High Rise. More specifically, I'm going to presume either Tyson DuPont and Ewig together, as you know, because after what happened last time, Tony D'Angelo got screwed. So we'll see about that. Now, our main event is the TNA World Championship. We have Trick Williams defending his belt against Mike Santana. Well, the match was pretty good, I have to say, not going to lie. I mean, probably many people would have thought Mike Santana was going to be the savior of TNA, which, of course, he would have done it. However, of course, Trick Williams saw Elijah being in the crowd, and then he grabbed his guitar and whacked it. But, of course, Elijah was not going to take that crap one way or the other. While that was happening, First Class, as you know, after what happened last week, they attacked Mike Santana, and just like that, they cost him the match until Trick Williams applies the trick shot, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. So now that the belt remains with Trick Williams, the real question is, who's going to be the one to take it off? I'm sure TNA wrestlers are trying to figure out who's going to be the lucky one. We'll just have to wait and see when that happens. But as of right now, we are done with our reviews and everything else. Let's move on with our last and final thing, news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news update. So we're going to keep this short and not too messy for everybody. Now, we do have two updates when it comes to upcoming events. The first one, as you know, we are now in the month of June. Wrestling Revolver will have Cage of Horrors. They announced a ladder match between JJ Garrett and Dante Leon. And then finally, as you know, MLW will have their upcoming event on the 26th of June with Summer of the Beast, and it's going to be at New York City. They announced, of course, Kushida will be making his presence there. Now, on to our developments here. We have two reports coming from Fightful Select. The first one, as you probably remember, I did mention about Jakara Jackson, now goes as Mara Sade, about the possibility of going to Stardom. And she mentioned this, that she would love to go to Stardom and wrestle against Kamitani, which, of course, it's probably good a dream come true. But the real question is, will she be accepted to go? I'm not sure exactly what kind of deal Stardom would throw in. I'm sure she'll be put in a tour. Of course, Stardom will probably pay for her apartment and all that. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot of negotiations of evolving that. So we'll see how that rolls out. Now, continuing part of the Fightful report, Wardlow, as you all know, we haven't seen him for a while. Now, some people are thinking it's a load of crap that he's not being on, but Fightful Select reports that Wardlow has been, of course, cleared from his injury and the projects he's been working on, but he's been having meetings with Tony Khan earlier this year. It's still unclear what exactly is going on. We don't know exactly where he fit in. There's people that have been talking, like rumors and all that, but we just don't know yet. Now, West Coast Pro has announced that they will be making a mystery show on the 27th of June. It's still unclear what this show is. This is nothing compared like the Canadian promotion that runs by Evil Uno. If you guys know, Evil Uno runs a promotion called Mystery Wrestling, where you don't know who's going to show up. I mean, it could be any wrestler we know, but we have seen wrestlers dressed up as Bigfoot, Batman, that sort of thing. So that's pretty much it. Now, this report, it was coming from C-Scoop. They talked about the Young Bucks. Now, the Bucks have been talking recently about purchasing a promotion or starting a new one, but the purchasing the promotion that they mentioned is PWG. If you don't know what that means, it's an acronym for Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Now, for those who don't know, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla is a promotion based out of here, mostly in LA. This is where some of the best wrestlers went there, like, of course, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, Adam Cole, Kevin Steen, or better known as Kevin Owens. Who else has been there? Many other wrestlers over time. Oh, yeah. Gunther, formerly known as Walter. Many wrestlers. It's one of the most popular promotions, but recently there's been reports that that promotion has been shut down. Now, of course, during a BTE type of thing that Matt's been doing, he said he's been talking with Nick about the possibility about maybe purchasing Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, maybe not just turning it into a promotion, but maybe into a wrestling school. It's still unclear about exactly. It's not 100% sure. I mean, some of you may think, are they planning to leave AEW? I'm not sure yet. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they put this promotion into an affiliation with AEW. I'm not sure if that's the case, but only time will tell. So if there's any news about this more, I'll let you guys know further. So I think that's pretty much it what we have. So let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Before I proceed on, I want to apologize. I'm sorry that I kept it only in one review. The reason behind that is I had a long effing day. Basically, I had a shift that went up to 7 in the morning all the way to 5:30 p.m., which is nerve-wracking. But at the same time, I was feeling like once I was out of my element, my body was like, bro, you need to sleep. But however, I decided, you know what, not to let you guys down. I decided, you know what, let's just do NXT, not to make things worse, not for me, not make things worse for my health, but also try to do something. I mean, I did miss out on a day due to, well, I think, was it, what, Friday? Yeah, because of Friday, that was one of the reasons. But for our next episode, as you know, we have AEW Dynamite. So we'll be paying attention more to that and WWE Evolve. And also, Stardom has their latest New Blood show, so I might do those three. So the priority is probably Stardom, uh, Evolve, and of course AEW Dynamite. So that's the angle where we're going as we speak. So we'll see how things will go for the next episode. But as of right now, that's pretty much it. So if I have any other news updates that I might do separately or any alerts, I'll let you guys know as soon as possible. I'm still working on the discussion videos about the purchase between WWE and AEW. Like, we'll talk about the pros and cons, about why they purchased it. I think some people would say, come on, J-Rod, it's good for business. Yeah, I would agree with you, but some people don't believe that. I'm not saying I agree with them or disagree. So, just laying out the facts. But that day will come until I finish. But as of right now, I'll say this, that I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. And have a nice day. Bang.